Hello, this is Chris Pickard, back with video number 2 in the Magnificent 7 Health Strategies series. The first one, hopefully you've already watched, is about thinking right. And hopefully you've also watched the prelude to the Magnificent 7. You've learned about the tests that you can do to determine your longevity. You've looked at the 4 horsemen of the health apocalypse, and you've also gone through the 5 R's training of true cellular rejuvenation and repair. Now, talk right today, we're talking about communication conflicts. And there's both communication on the outside world, and there's also communication on the inside world. Now, for the sake of today's video, we're going to be talking about the internal talk, the internal communication systems inside the body. And any breakdown of these causes stress on the system. And did you know that stress is more fattening than chocolate? It disrupts more hormones than chocolate. It causes more health problems than chocolate. But it can actually be the missing link between you losing weight and not losing weight. It can sometimes not be what you're eating, it's the stress you're under. When you're stressed, you actually gain weight. So, stress on the communication systems on the body, we know that it can make you gain weight. It stresses you, so it can send the blood pressure higher. It can disrupt hormones like insulin, so it can give you diabetes. It can cause aches and pains. It can cause any kind of problem in the body. Thyroid problems is another key one as well, because autoimmune conditions are a communication problem. It's a problem where your body isn't recognizing itself, so it attacks itself. So we need to look at all of the communication systems and all the parts of communication in order to really know what's happening with your health. Now, one of the people that I learned a lot from, not directly, just by learning from his lectures, is a guy called Dr. Zach Bush. Now, Dr. Zach Bush is board certified in 3 disciplines in American medicine. There's internal medicine, there's endocrinology and metabolism, and there's also hospice care. He's also a cancer researcher. And because the first step towards cancer is a breakdown of cell communication, if there's anyone that's going to know about cell communication and internal communication, it's Zach Bush. And he says that basically, if a cell has unfettered access to information, it will not get diseased. So let's have a look at what a cell needs in order to get all the information it needs. So here's a cell, and with the DNA in the middle. And if you've already watched the 5 R's trainings, you already know about the importance of the cell and the cell membrane. So what does a cell do? Well, it's got receptors on the outside for different things. So you've got hormones, okay? So if there's a problem with the hormones, then your cell won't get the right message. And there are lots of things that disrupt hormones. Stress, how you eat, how you think can change your hormones. Then there's the nervous system. And the nervous system isn't just about electrical impulses. It also has its own kind of hormones called neurotransmitters. So NS and NT. And so there's receptors for all these different things on the cells. And so if the cell isn't getting all the information because the hormones are disrupted, maybe something you've eaten as well, things like milk can disrupt hormones, oral contraceptive pills disrupt hormones, bread can disrupt hormones, sugar can disrupt hormones. It also can interfere with the neurotransmitters and the nervous system, how you think as well, all these things. So let's say though that these are working. We also know from the 5 R's training that if the cell membrane is inflamed or toxic, it doesn't matter what's going on here, you're going to have a problem. So we need to get not just these fixed, we need to get the cell membranes fixed. But there's more than just these 3 pathways. There's also light. Did you know that we actually emit light? All of our cells emit light and receive light. It's a communication pathway in our body. There's another master control system that is the link between the nervous system and the hormone system, and that's called the endocannabinoid system, discovered because of how cannabis affects our bodies. There's also communication directly between cells as well, and these connections are called tight junctions. And this is very, very important to know that if the tight junctions are kind of ripped apart, then the cells can't communicate properly with each other, and that can cause a whole host of problems. And then there's also the communication between all the other things that are living on the inside of us. There's our bacterial communication systems from our gut to our brain. For every one message that our brain sends to our gut, the bacteria and organisms in our gut are sending 9 messages back up to the brain. So it's really important to make sure that all the bacteria in your gut are working properly. We now know that the DNA of the bacteria in our gut actually interacts with our own DNA and helps us live and communicate. And a lot of autoimmune conditions like thyroid problems actually start in the gut, where the foods we're eating and the stress we're under actually change our bacteria. Yes, stress will change your bacteria because it changes the chemicals and the molecules that your gut secretes and the acidity of your stomach. All of these things change their internal communication system. So if your gut microbiome is changed, then your brain will work differently, which will affect your nervous system and your hormones. You're getting the picture here that it's pretty complicated. So we need to start working on getting all of these fixed. And what I would like to do for you is I would like to provide you with a gut immune balancing recipe, both a soup and a smoothie that you can make, which is full of good foods that help increase communication, help heal and soothe the autoimmunity in the gut. There's a recipe, there's various different spices and herbs that are full of what are called endocannabinoids and glyconutrients, which is another signaling system. Glyconutrients are like little antennae that sit on our cells, and they allow one cell or one hormone to know what another cell is doing. So yeah, I'd like to send you that list as well. And also I'd like to send you the list of the most useful supplements as well, including a supplement that actually starts zipping all these tight junctions together again, which is very, very, very important. So if you would like those, then please just email me and I will email you the recipes and the lists so you can go out and start fixing the internal communication. Now, in our full course, we go into also external communication, how to communicate more properly. That's bad. But here's a clue. Listen, we've got 2 ears and 1 mouth. We should be listening twice as much as we talk. So I will leave it there today. Next time, we are going to be getting on to, well, it seems pretty obvious, we're going to go from talking to eating. We're going to be talking about eat right as the next one, and I'm going to go through my 3-part plan for you to find the perfect eating plan for you so that you know the best foods to have on a regular basis so that you can get a permanent change to your weight problem or to your arthritis problem, because how you can eat your way into pain and you can eat your way out of pain, just like you can eat your way into being overweight and out of being overweight as well. Okay, be well and keep an eye out for the next week, in a week's time for the next video.